And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing FortressCraft Evolved. Alright, I think it's time to at least get the system set up for the max tier of lenses. They take a very, very long time to craft, and you know, I'd like to get the system set up as soon as possible. So I got a couple induction chargers here. We're going to space these 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then in the middle here, we're going to put actually a Mark IV battery. So I'm going to just craft that right off the bat. And let's slap it in right in here. Then I'll push power in to the battery and it'll power both of these. Okay, so I've got the lens chromers and the lens polishers ready to go. So I think it's the lens, yeah, I think it's the lens polisher. That's the first one. I'd like to say it's the first one, but I can't be 100% certain. So I'm going to put one of these here. No valid attached hoppers. Yeah, I'm aware. So let's put that here. So this one needs the lenses. And it's any lens. Absolutely 100% any lenses. So that is indeed the first step. And then it's the chromer that's the second step. Because I remember always loading chrome in last. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the output is going to be here. And these are going to be the chromers. You can see 64 power per second on every one of these machines. It's quite a lot of power. Quite a lot of power. Okay, so these need hoppers. And I crafted a whole bunch of logistics hoppers just for this purpose. Okay, so they're going to want lenses and a hopper to come out. These are going to want hoppers going in. And I'll set all these permissions in between episodes. I just want to get this system up and running. And then the output, I always put on the other side. Like so. But the other thing is these also need chrome. Because it's, you know, you're chroming the lenses, so they also need chrome. And then in the back here, let's use our chevron action. And then we got plenty of headroom. And let's come over with that as well, because I really liked my the last setup that I had, because I slapped a 2000 slot hopper right in the middle here, and that's where I put the chrome, and that distributed on both sides evenly. And so we're gonna want, let's see, we're gonna want a huge storage hopper here, and let's keep with the symmetry. Gotta love the symmetry. Okay. And that should be full. Yeah, it is facing down. Like so. And now we need 5 to come out. And we're using one and there's 6 sides. So we need every available side of this, even the back, is going to be used. But in here, we're going to set this up to go sideways. Because they're going to come out here and go into there. Perfect. And then these. That's the master battery for the whole setup. Now the lenses. We're going to load similarly. Okay, so we're going to have a master setup right in here for the lenses. One on each side. So I'm going to be able to load in quite a lot of lenses. So one on this side and then one on this side. So I'll be able to do one type in there, one type in there, load them both in there, and this will distribute them, you know, away from whatever. All right. So now we need a similar makeup here. So let's put this one in like that. So this goes in there. This goes in there. Both of these come out. So now it's just a matter of loading. Let's see, I'm going to underground, or not underground, but pop this one off like that. This one should go up. So obviously we're going to do the same to this side. And then this side. Okay, so that takes care of the raw lens, or the raw lenses going in. Now it's just a matter of the chrome coming out and getting pushed into there. So we're going to want this side coming out like that, and this side doing the same thing. Okay, so that should be pointing down. It is. It's so bright in here, it's hard to see. Hard to see that stuff. And then this is going to come out and in. Basically a mirror of what's going on down here. Okay, Arthur, get your light out of here. We don't need the extra brightness, Arthur. We really don't. Look how bright his light is. It's crazy. And then to the side and in. Just like that. Excellent. And then the output, pretty simple. I'm going to unblock that so I can get in here and set these permissions. Like I said, I'll do that after the fact. And then down here, this is where I'll pull all the items and put them right into a hopper. Because these take like 5 minutes to craft each one of these. So it's not a whole lot of throughput. And I got to think about power here. So, okay, so there is that. Now for power, we're going to need, let's see, 64, that's 640, that's 1280 power. This thing will consume, this setup will consume 1280 power per second. So I need at least 2 lasers to come over here. And I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think we can probably use, you know, one of these guys over here. So we've got a little bit of space here. So I'm going to put a couple more batteries. Whoa. All right. So right in here, this is one setup and this is the other setup. So I just want to make sure we're in line. And we're in line down here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's see if we can beam it over and it'll get above. I think we can. Because we're above that hopper, and that's the important thing. Got to stay above that. Okay, that's got an exceptional lens. Lens. Okay, good. Because if I'm going to want to beef up our T4 ore generation, we're going to need some conduits and we're going to need a whole lot of power. And there's really no easy way of doing that unless you've got some of these sweet lenses. Because these beef up, these take this and make it 1600 power per second. So it really maximizes the power. So let's go see just how many lenses we have to offer this behemoth. And see if we're up to 2000 yet on any one item. This is why I've been saving all the eyes that we've been getting from, you know, all the bugs that we've been squishing. All right. So this guy is going. This guy is going great. Okay, eyes I think start about right here. So there's almost 2,000. There's 2,000 eyes in there that we can grab. There's almost 2,000 eyes in here. That's amazing. We actually had now more blue eyes than we did the green. And with the recombined organic matter I have, I can actually make that exactly 2,000. So I think actually that is this self-craft menu. There it is. So 1960. And let's craft up to 2,000. Exactly 2,000 of each. So now that we have 2,000 of each, we need to make the lenses for those. So one of them is crude. 25 at a time. Oh, that's a lot of lenses. Look at that. Okay, and then the organic lens is the blue eyes. And craft all of these. That's a lot of eyes. Wow. There we go. Plus the 70 exceptionals that we've got, but we've been using those for actual power use. So now we've got 2,000 of the organic lenses and 2,000 of the crudes. Both of those will be able to upgrade to the chromed, but we're actually going to need some chrome in order to do that. And I've been trying to save up enough to start that research. So cold caves, here we come. Because power is kind of tricky in these first few stages here. So okay, how much do we have? I'd like to get enough for that research. 468 of each. I think that's good. I'm gonna keep with that, and that's enough for the research. So we're good with that. This is ready to go. And so we'll be able to get a little bit more chrome, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. So I've got a lift already crafted for him. He will go down. The trencher is already good to go. Same with this one, although the moly vein is much smaller than the chrome vein. Chrome vein is like 25 million, and the moly is 9 million. And like I said, those trenchers will chew through those veins so fast. You've got to be careful. So he's going down to get some chrome, which should kind of amplify my chrome. So now I've actually got the imbued blocks that we need. So one of the things I'd like to do, I'm going to put one in there and one in there. I'm going to get one of each, and then I'm going to use a 2000 slot hopper to set those so there's the chromed and the magnetic. So the magnetic is over here and the chromed is over here. Yep. So these are set. Now I can dump 2000 imbued blocks in there and 2000 imbued blocks in there, and they should start crafting the chromed and magnetic blocks for me as fast as they can. So now we've got 2 chromes. You can see 2 chromes going and a moly. So yeah, we're not producing as much moly, and that's unfortunate. But again, I really don't know if I want to pull that much moly out of here before I upgrade that. I would just need 2 more turbines in order to push power into there, and I wouldn't even need that second trencher. So what would that look like if I did 2 more? Can I do 2 more of turbines? I'm running a little low on the advanced machine blocks. So I come up here. It's a simple matter of just building them on top. Like so. And then setting these, so I want to make sure we're at the right height here. So this one is going to be remove only, and this one is going to be add only. So this goes down into that, and this one comes up like so. Had to move in there because otherwise it would have gone into that other one, and that would have messed me up, and it would have been all messy. Okay, so the problem with this is at the almost at the height limit. Although I could I think what we're going to do really quick is we're going to get another Mark IV battery. we're going to try. We're going to try. Put this up here. Now, how are we for height if we just beam right from the top? Well, that actually works. Okay, so if we beam from the top here, we are going to need to jog that over. And that's from the top. I think this is, yeah, this is the edge. Like that. So I want to build that out. One there. And one there. Okay, so this is now getting a pretty healthy amount of power, although that turbine needs to spin back up again. Because once they lower down, it takes them a couple minutes to actually spin back up. Come on, spin up. There you go. This guy needs to spin up too. There we go. Now we're doing something. There we go. We got a little bit of power going on here. How's our casting basin? Casting basin has 2 of each going. Okay. Well, that helped a little bit. And of course, we're going to want some sort of setup for... yeah, we're going to want some sort of setup for our freeze-on. Because freeze-on is going to be important once we get our nuclear reactor stuff going. So I might have to put that over here a ways, because that's where our fuel is going up and down. Okay, so now we've got 2 chrome and 2 mollies coming in, and we're going to be able to build up these machine blocks. So I'm hoping those fill up pretty fast. I'm going to have to leave the game running for a little bit and then take a look at where we're going to want our system for. I think right in here is probably a good spot. I've got a good setup now for the air filtration. So I think I'm going to base it right off of, I'm going to go up a little bit. But not too much. And then we're going to come over. Maybe a little out a little bit more. The setup is pretty big. It's the same setup that you see in my thumbnail for the series. So kind of out here a ways. Just enough room to have space for the bottler underneath. So right there, I'm thinking would be a good spot for the air filtration system, and I usually build it way up tall, but I wanted something that I could use a stairwell for to get up to. And now I can get up here and maybe add a few lights. So yeah, that should be my platform. I'll look at it in between episodes and make sure we've got enough space, and then let those smelt for a while, because hopefully the game doesn't lock up or my computer doesn't lock up, and the system can smelt for a while. All right, well, that'll do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.